Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the Infatuasian podcast, week 2 of our Chin for the Win month, and we got a great one for you. We have a double N Chinn, or as we like to say, a double chin. We have Surae Chinn. She is a newscaster over in Utah. I've never met Surae before, but it was like meeting a cousin that you've never met before, but you instantly knew that you were family. So it was a lot of fun, and Surae's great. She does a lifestyle show in Utah called Good Things Utah. And so we had a lovely chat. It was super fun. And it's just, I'm enjoying, I don't know if you're enjoying it, but I'm really enjoying talking to other chins. I think it's just really fun. It's kind of cool because, if you grow up with this last name, you don't meet a lot of people other than your relatives who have it. And so it's just kind of a cool club to be in, to finally meet members, that you didn't know existed. We'll get to it in a second, but I wanted to do a proper introduction to our new arrangement for our theme. It's by the amazing Invictus Quartet out of Melbourne, Australia. You remember them. They came on, I don't know, year 2, maybe year 3. But they're great, and they're performing all over Australia. I hope they come to the U.S. someday so I can meet them. But yeah, we talked about rejiggering the theme a little with the quartet, and I think it turned out really great, and it's really fun. Just to mix it up a little bit. I'll use the other one still, but I think it's fun to kind of mix it up a little bit. So anyway, thanks to Invictus Quartet for doing the introduction, and we'll get to our episode with Surae right after this.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Today's guest is our second Chin for the Win guest. It is Surae Chinn. Do you say Surae or Surae?
Surae.
Surae. All right, I'll do that again. It's Surae Chinn. Surae is an Emmy Award-winning journalist, news anchor, and TV host on Good Things Utah. In addition to her work as a journalist, she is also a public speaker and advocate for Asian American representation in media and a children's book author. Hello and welcome to the show, Surae Chinn.
Hi, Curtis. This is such a delight. I do podcasts every day for work, but not for this particular situation from an Asian to Asian. I love it.
Yeah, and not just that, it's a chin to a chin.
It's a chin to a chin, and not only that, a double N chin at that.
Yeah, we're in a special club. There's a small club of us. I don't even know how many there are, but there's not a ton of us. So I think I found you by searching up famous people with the last name of Chinn.
How many are there?
There's not a lot.
So mine just kind of got up to the top here, but yeah, I think we're in a very exclusive club.
But actually, we talked about this online a little bit about how there are actually people that are Caucasian with the last name of Chinn.
I know. And in fact, there was a gal who interned in our Good Things Utah department. And she said, "Are we related? I think we're related." So I don't know if it's by marriage potentially, but I'm going to have to connect you two and see if, there's some, I don't know, story behind the two ends.
Yeah. Well, I did a little research because I met a guy in college. Like there was a list of people that had a certain GPA, like the dean's list. And I looked it up and my name was there. And then there's this other guy, I forget his name, like Daniel Chinn or something. And then I took a class and I sat next to him because the teacher is a lab class. So we sat alphabetically. And Daniel Chinn was next to me and he was a white guy. And
I'm sure you were thinking, oh my gosh, one of my kind I get to sit next to. And then the shocker.
Could be a relative, yeah. But then the shocker. And then, so I asked him and he said, actually, I think he was from Virginia and his ancestors were English.
I'm from Virginia.
Yeah. So, well, but see, he said that there's a whole long line of Chinns from England that are spelled with 2 N's.
Wow.
I know.
You know a lot more than I do because I don't know anyone except our intern.
Oh, well,
In Utah, not East Coast here.
yeah, it's whenever you see it, it's kind of like seeing a unicorn. When you see the double N, it's kind of like, who is this person? But yeah, so it's interesting. I mean, I think it's from. Are your roots? We'll talk about your roots in a second. But are your roots from Toisan? Do you know that village?
The village? No. So how I understand it is my mom is from Xi'an, which, I don't get the double N from her, but my dad is from Guangzhou.
Okay, okay, yeah. I think. Well, this is what I heard that in Toisan, which is a dialect kind of similar to Cantonese.
Wait, maybe you're right. That does sound familiar when you say that.
Yeah, so
Toisan?
it's where a lot of the immigrants in the 1800s, a lot of the immigrants came from there. And if you say, so our last name is like in Cantonese would be Chun, like kind of like Chun, but it's spelled Chen, Chan. There's all these variations,
Chun?
right? But they said that if you say it in Toisanese, it's pronounced Chin,
Chin.
which
I've
is
never heard that.
yeah, it's like the dialect version. So it's kind of like a country dialect. So our country dialect, our little kind of backwoods dialect says Chin, and that's where the immigration officers might have gotten it from because they were like, oh, how do you spell that?
Because it's not with a U, but I always would introduce to Chinese relatives or people outside, I would say Chen Surae. So
Yeah.
actually in Chinese, it's pronounced Surae.
Huh.
And it's Chen. I've never heard Chin, which
Yeah,
is so bizarre.
Maybe if you go back even
I'm
further.
going to write that down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe your great-grandfather was from Toisan or something like that. But
I have to check into that because it's hard to find your history when you are in America, and to find the lineage is really difficult. And I don't know if this is the same with your family, but my grandparents didn't really talk a lot about their history.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's up to us.
It's up to us.
We'll get to that in a second. We're going to talk. Let's see. Let me ask you. So you're calling in from Salt Lake City today?
I am.
What's good in Utah?
What's good in Utah? So much right now. It is in the middle of, the end of July, and it's scorching hot. But Utah right now, I don't know if you've like seen what's trending, but Utah's a buzz with their reality show, our looks, our beauty, just scandalous things. I mean, it's a hotbed of like water cooler talk.
Wow. Actually, it hasn't made it out here yet. I gotta find some more.
Curtis, are you sure? Do you have the pulse here? Because have you heard of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? Secret Lives of Mormon Wives? Have you heard of Swig? Hello, Dirty Coke?
Oh,
where
man.
they put like creamer in the Coca-Cola because Utah is very religious, right? With the Mormon culture, and they're not allowed to have coffee or alcohol. So we have something called the Dirty Coke, and Swig is a big like drive-through with the Coca-Cola and the sodas, which you're allowed to have cold caffeine, and you can pour like creamer, and that makes it a Dirty Coke. So,
I do not have my finger on the pulse of Utah right now. So.
I'm just going to give you a quick, 101 while we're talking.
Yeah.
So, throughout
please.
this hour.
Apparently, a Harry Potter hotbed, too.
Exactly. We have our own Fan X, which is happening in September, but apparently we have, I guess a lot of people Google Harry Potter because there is the Harry Potter exhibition that is only in Salt Lake City of the entire country. They picked Salt Lake City, and only 4 in the entire world because people Google Harry Potter a lot, and the fandom here is humongous.
Huh. I didn't know. Yeah, I would not have guessed that because of the Mormons, but I don't know. The interest is there.
All the surprises out here.
Okay. Like I told you in an email too that I have some relatives in the Mountain West. Like my dad came from South Dakota, and then they moved down. Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I don't. He was born there. Yeah, there was a train stop. You know how the railroad passed through there, and there was a train stop. And I guess my grandfather found a restaurant opportunity there.
No way.
Population like 800 people, but the train stop brought people in for lunch, and so he had a little restaurant. And then they moved to Denver, Colorado. And so some of my uncles went to UC Boulder and ended up staying there. And then my other uncle brought the rest of the family out west to Berkeley, California. So we ended up on the West Coast.
Well, we have something called, there is an Asian history, right? They tried to wipe it out, erase it, but they're in Promontory, a city in Utah. That's where the Golden Steak is. And a lot of Chinese folks were basically forced labor. Can we say that?
Yeah.
I mean,
low wage for sure.
Low wage for sure. And I heard even they had their particular currency. So you made money, but you could only buy with that currency whatever was in the town. So then, you're stuck there.
Yeah. Yeah. But you like Utah? You've been there for how long? You've been there?
I do. I love it here in Utah. And my story of being here is one that I did not want to be here. Like, this is the farthest from my reality, Curtis, that I would be here in Utah. I fought tooth and nail to be here. And now I'm a Utahn. Like, I've been here almost a decade. It's 9 years in August, in just a couple of days, 9 years. I cannot even believe it. But yeah, the turn it took for me to get here is so interesting. I don't know if you want to hear it, but we can.
Well, let's get into it. Let's go way back.
Oh gosh,
your family roots. So I think we're going to Honolulu, Hawaii. Is that kind of origin story?
I was born there. My parents met in Hawaii on Oahu, and we lived in Kaneohe, the windward side of the island. And I lived my first 12 years there. Grew up like free, like barefoot, wore my slippers and talked pidgin.
And almost everyone looked like you, right? Like, you were not.
Everyone looked like me. You were either Chinese, Japanese, Polynesian, Korean, Filipino.
So as far as you knew, so you didn't grow up speaking Chinese? Your parents were speaking pidgin more than Chinese at that point?
Pretty much, but they tried to teach, the first generation they come and English is the number one. And so they didn't really force it on us. My mom, funny, she was a college teacher who taught Chinese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we were told to go to Sunday Chinese school, but I don't think I was really interested. and then later on, I regretted not learning Chinese fluently.
Same.
Curtis, do you know fluent Chinese?
Not at all.
Same. So we're in the same generation of like, but English is the right language. You don't need to learn Chinese. I tried. And then when I turned in my teens, I wanted to learn, and my mom tried to teach me as a teacher, and I just didn't have the commitment.
Yeah.
To this day, I can understand a lot more than I can speak it.
Yeah. No, it's hard. So it would have been Cantonese or Mandarin? Your mom taught Mandarin.
She taught Mandarin. My dad is Cantonese, and my mom is, she can speak Mandarin.
Yeah. Man, you know what? I wonder how far back we'd have to go to find a relative. It probably wouldn't be that far. Maybe like 2 or 3.
You think we're related then?
No, I mean, not. It's probably like 4 or 5 generations. Like, there's probably a village connection somewhere.
That would be freaking amazing, Curtis. You don't understand, because I live in Utah, like I just said. We celebrate a holiday called Pioneer Days, the Days of 47, which Utahns consider that as the founding day, July 24th, founding day when pioneers arrived to the Salt Lake Valley in 1847.
Okay.
And pretty much the joke around here is pretty much everyone is related to each other. No, I'm not kidding. And that's why you see the blind. And not disparaging at all, but being in a transplant, you hear all these anecdotes of, oh, that's my cousin, that's my, relative, because everyone is blonde-haired, blue eyes.
Yeah.
And for you to say, hey, we might be a distant cousin, like, because I can't say that. There's...
Yeah.
Not here in Utah.
Well, yeah, we got to get you. I hear you don't come out to California that often, but if you're ever in the Bay Area, let me know. Yeah,
Well,
we gotta connect.
we definitely have to connect, and it's just, what, an hour and a half flight? But my grandfather, speaking of, lived in San Francisco.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay, we're probably related.
You think?
I don't know.
Gosh. I
There's a
mean,
chance.
my grandpa is N Chinn,
Uh-huh.
and my dad he's the oldest of 4
Okay.
brothers,
Okay.
and his youngest brother, Jet, lives in San Francisco, I think. Jet Chin.
Really? Okay.
Mhm. So you
We'll dig
never.
around.
Yeah.
We'll
Hmm.
get a whiteboard out. We'll do a little a little
Or
analysis.
2 or 3
Yeah.
whiteboards.
All right. So Hawaii till 12 and then DC, is that where or Virginia?
Went to DC, Virginia, technically. So, during the 80s, my dad lost his job at Pan Am, and it was a
Yeah.
really hard time because I think the market crashed in the 80s, and
Yeah.
I just
Uh-huh.
remember being poor. Like, my parents lost everything. They were in
Mm.
real estate, but then ended up losing all, like, the condos and our house, and just everything tanked. And then my mom randomly, and this is how my mom's life is, because it's sort of like that's how she got to Hawaii, just on a slim chance. Oh, let me just apply to this teacher job. And she was one of the first to go to college. Anyway, brought her to Hawaii and she got it. And fast forward to Hawaii, lost their jobs, and then my mom applied for the CIA.
Okay.
So she applies, and knowing the government, they take a long time, at least 6 months, to come back around. And they said, well, you got the job and you have secret clearance and yada, yada, yada. So from Hawaii, all of a sudden, I am 12, finished 6th grade, and we all go to Virginia and
And
start our, another chapter.
a different chapter. And so what was little Surae like?
Hmm.
Was there a hint that you'd be a newscaster when you're a kid, like a 10-year-old?
Yeah, so I was a tomboy.
Okay.
I climbed plumeria trees in the backyard and chased the dog and hid from the dog and was in the woods all the time because our house in Kaneohe backed up to just woods and then the mountains, and then the Coast Guard was there. And you might know this, there's Stairway to Heaven. It's a
I've heard of it.
big, you heard of it. It's a big
Yeah.
hike that they closed down, I think, now. But back in the day, it was open and people would climb it all the time, and we did too. So I was a tomboy, Curtis. Like, here I am now with makeup and lashes and hair done. But I will say, as Asians and Chinese parents, they always wanted to know what you were what do you want to
Yeah.
be when you grow up? What are you,
Uh-huh.
and instead of saying doctor or financial person, I said, and I was only 9. I remember this. I said I wanted to be an anchor.
Okay.
I know it sounds random, but let me tell you, when back in the day, you would watch the news, and everyone sits down and watches the news. And I remember the anchor at the time was Caucasian, and I thought the anchor could see through the TV into my house. So every day I would sit at the couch and I would just watch, and I'm like, oh, you can see me. Thanks for, telling me the news.
Mhm.
And I thought that was the most magical thing.
Uh-huh.
And somehow that stuck with me when my dad asked. And then I never touched broadcasting until college.
Uh-huh.
And the rest is history, I guess.
Yeah. But maybe on the islands it was a little different, I'm sure. But once you got to DC, you probably didn't see a lot of people that look like you doing
No,
the
it
news.
was complete culture shock. So
Yeah.
I think I mourned. I think to this day I still mourn being in Hawaii and living this idyllic childhood,
Yeah.
barefoot in the grass, rain, it would rain 5 minutes a day, and then you play outside all day. and with your friends. And it was just the most carefree living that
Mm-hmm.
like stays with me, and the smells and the flowers, all of it. So when I moved to DC, Virginia, I was one of a few Asians, and I had a hard time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, And, it was also middle school, which isn't the best time growing up
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, of like rite of
Yeah.
passage of like middle school. And on top of it, like my entire culture and surrounding is so different. And yeah, there was teasing and all of that, and feeling totally like an outcast.
Yeah. But somehow you still had this dream. You still had the dream of getting on air. So college you did broadcasting and then slid right into like internships, or how did you get into actually doing the news?
I remember working for, um, well, after college, maybe this is more details than you want, but did you ever hear of the Love Boat?
Oh yeah. The Taiwan trip? Yeah, yeah.
So I did. My mom, I don't know what it was, but she really pushed me into this. I'm like, what is this Love Boat thing? And so I did it, and I loved it. I don't think I did anything naughty, except I did like stayed out for curfew,
Right,
you sneak
right.
out. But
You have to. You have to.
and then you have these boy crushes and all of that. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
so that was right after college, and I remember feeling a bit lost coming home because I was so energized with my new degree, but I didn't have a future. I didn't have something
Mm,
set because the only thing was, okay, I have to do this Love Boat thing, and then like who knows? And I think I fell into a little bit of a depression because you have this dream and you go on this big trip that you like. It was emotional for me when I
yeah.
left. Like, these
Yeah.
were your people, and I'm like, well, does that like, is that my future? Do I want to be a broadcaster in Taiwan? And even more
Uh-huh.
so, that made me feel like "Ah, I don't know the language
I
completely.
know.
So there was this identity crisis
Yeah.
coming back.
Yeah.
And then somehow I remember going to these SBJs, like journalism conventions and
Mm-hmm.
networking. And my true mainstream broadcasting position was a PA, which is a production assistant,
Uh-huh.
working overnights in DC at WRC, which is a legendary NBC station,
Mm-hmm.
O&O. And I ripped scripts at the time for the main anchors during Gensler, Vance, and Michael. I'm forgetting his name, but they were the A team. They were the superstars. And that's kind of just how I got into it. And then slowly got my first reporting job at Montgomery County Television, and then went to Iowa for my very first, like on my own, Dubuque, Iowa, the smallest town you could think of, and did reporting there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of this journey, right? We spoke to, Vicky Wynn. She's on Today's Show.
Oh,
And
yes. I love
yeah,
her.
yeah, she was NBC Bay Area for a minute, and then, but yeah, that's what you do. As a reporter, you go to the small towns and try to get a bigger market and then bigger market, and
You pay
just
your dues in
yeah,
2 feet of snow. You're lugging the camera, and you're doing everything
yeah,
on your own, and you're learning
right,
everything. But
yeah.
nowadays, with new technology, it's different. Some people jump right into it.
That's different.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're bouncing around a little. I think you did a little Kansas City, a little DC,
Yep,
and
I
then
bounced around a lot. I met my then husband in Kansas City, actually, on set.
uh-huh, uh-huh. Then how did Utah happen? Then where did the Utah
Okay,
connection come in?
so then Kansas City, then to DC, and I thought, "Oh, I made it. I'm home." And I
Uh-huh.
was. I loved it. I worked for WSA 9 as a reporter and fill-in anchor. And when I was hired, I was like the main fill-in person. So I'm like, "Oh
Mm.
my gosh, I'm set." And then as life happens, we were starting a family.
Mhm.
I lost our first baby, and And then I thought we couldn't have children, but then we ended up getting miracles, and now we have Eleanor and Graham. So as TV goes, you never know how solid your position is. And I married a TV guy. He was a meteorologist.
Uh-huh.
And his job, he was working for WJLA, the ABC affiliate, and from family owned, all Britons, they were sold to Sinclair, and
Uh-huh.
they did an overhaul, and Devin, who is my ex now, said, "I don't know how long I'm going to last here. I want to look around." I said, "Okay, well, you moved for me. I will move for you this time."
Okay.
So, lo and behold, Utah calls, and I said, I'm not going to Utah. There's no way. Nuh-uh. I did not work this hard to get all the way home to now go to Utah. I know nothing about the Intermountain West. That's too far from home.
Mm-hmm.
But lo and behold, the GM flies out, meets us, and I'm like, oh, they're really nice. They're really nice over there in Utah. Convinces me, and I said, if we don't go now, we'll never leave.
Yeah.
And 9 years ago in June, we moved, and I started in August. But yeah, that's what started this whole like coming out west. I was kicking and
Huh.
screaming.
2 babies in tow.
With 2 I mean, yeah, I had a 1 and a 3-year-old. They were itsy bits.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right. So you're in Utah doing some reporting, but then you get the gig. Good Things Utah.
So, I mean, and I was happy. I was so happy, right? So it was my ex. He was doing the morning weather, and we were kind of like hired as a package deal, right? So here's this TV couple. He was doing
Uh-huh.
mornings, and I ended up anchoring the 4 p.m. newscast.
Mm.
And I do that for 3 years, and would fill in on this lifestyle show called Good Things Utah that has a legacy of 23 years here in Utah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And I thought, oh, how fun. I get to do this and like show DIYs and, put curlers in my hair, literally
Uh-huh.
put curlers in my hair and show like, this is what I do to steam my hair. And I had a fun time doing it. So I would, off and on do the fill in. And the news director at the time said, I think lifestyle's in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And I said,
Yeah.
what? I don't know. I'm used to hard news. If it bleeds, it leads. It is. I'm there in the front lines.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I thought about it, I said, well, that is fun. Let me try it. And I
Uh-huh.
made that leap and haven't looked back.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Yeah. No, I don't get the Utah feed out here, but I've seen you online a little bit, and you're perfect for it. I think your interactions with
Aw.
people and you just have lots of different interests, so I think you're great. I think it's a great fit for you.
Thank you, Curtis.
Sure. So that's 9 a.m. after the Good Morning America.
That's right. Good Morning America. Then we have something called Good Morning Utah. And well, they do that before GMA, and then we have these cut-ins, and then it's 9 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Yeah.
live.
Yeah. So I think I saw you on the parade route on Thursday. You were
Oh
interacting
my
with the
gosh.
crowd.
So sometimes we go on for 2 hours. So that was the parade of 47 of
Uh-huh.
celebrating Utah Pride. And so sometimes they take me out, and I'm in the field and talking with random folks, Curtis.
Yeah. What are you doing? You do some cooking sometimes. You do some beauty,
Cooking,
travel.
DIYs, crafts, travel. I just came back from Hawaii, which was incredible. So we do a little bit of everything. And I always say there's this magic that happens on Good Things Utah. Of all shows, there is something magical about where we are. And I've said that I've become a better mom because of this show.
Mm.
A lot of our show is in the beginning of the show, if you haven't seen it, 10 minutes of like what we call table talk. And we bring in these subjects and topics that we want to hit on or expand on, and how it relates to me now as a single mom, or or people who are married. I've been both, and a lot of life changes have happened. So I got a divorce in 2020 during the pandemic, and it took me a year and a half to talk openly about my
Mm,
divorce. And there was something about the show. I said, to be honest and authentic, I felt like I couldn't talk about it without being upfront. I couldn't talk about being married, and I couldn't talk about being divorced and the struggle and the challenges of being a single mom. I couldn't do any of it without saying, this is what happened in my life, and this is
yeah.
what I'm struggling with. Yes, I have experience as a married person and as being a partner and being a mom and being this and that and a career person. So although it took me a little longer to be upfront, and I think that's the Asian part of me, of let me get out of my bubble, let me get out of my skin and just be as authentic and honest with you viewers who have been so kind to me and opening their homes to us. I need to be honest. Not
Yeah.
that I had to, or I was forced to. I needed it for myself and for me to talk honestly about all of these chapters in my life and how I do have wisdom. I can share the struggle, or I can share some wisdom.
Yeah. No, I think people appreciate that. I'm sure you've gotten feedback. Yeah, other single moms or people struggling with different things. I'm sure they can relate. Yeah.
Yeah, I think our viewers have been the most gracious with me, and some like to critique. And then I
Uh-huh.
remind and I say, "Hey, I'm doing the best I can." I remember distinctly I had a puppy, and we during COVID we had to film in our homes for a week. And I had the kids running around. I mean, I got divorced, at a time where I became a single parent overnight because my ex ended up leaving the state. And then no schools were open. So I was single
Hmm.
parenting full time overnight, homeschooling overnight, bringing the kids to work because no childcare. So
Yeah.
here I am. You want to film in my house? This is real life, everybody.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
I remember the dog was barking, the kids were yelling, and it was like a sensitive moment that I couldn't control back in the studio, but we were
Hmm.
live with me. And then after that, I got some emails like, you la la la, I gotta be quiet and howl and blah blah blah. And I said, you guys, I'm so sorry, but that was real life. This is my real
Hmm.
life. And I can't necessarily tone it down at the moment. I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah, no, I'm sure a lot of people related to that because I was a teacher here on Zoom. That's actually how I learned how to use Zoom was teaching.
Oh,
And yeah, everyone's situation was so different. Like we would have a kid turn on his camera during class and there'd be chaos behind him. And we're like, okay, never mind, mute, turn your camera off. It was a tough time for everyone. So yeah, I think people could relate to that.
yeah.
There's another thing you just kind of I think it's fairly recently you brought up that you were diagnosed or
Mm.
found out that you were ADHD because of your kid was struggling with some things at school or life.
Absolutely, and I'm so, like, an open book now because I do know the responsibility of being an on-air personality, and what I share could possibly help others, and that's what I found. And thank you for giving me the space to talk about it because I'm s excited and I don't know, I'm just grateful to talk about my condition because I realize so many others who I run into
Mhm.
say, "Yeah, that's me, that's me, that's me." And so I guess I've been diagnosed less than a year. So October will be a year, and it was shocking yet not so shocking. I think my entire
Mm.
life I've felt like I just don't fit in.
Uh-huh.
Why does my brain go like that and I can't focus? And that's hard when you're in the broadcasting industry, right?
Mhm.
So I think I've been able to adapt. And as women in broadcasting, I feel like you have to be a little bit more in control and be more of a testosterone. You have to feel like I
Yeah.
got it. I got this together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So through the divorce, we've always gone to therapy, and that is a huge thing. Like, I'm a proponent of therapy. And while I was going through these sessions with my son, it's like something sounds very familiar. I'm like, that's me, and that's me. I know that's my son, and trying to navigate all that. And one day I just said, well, maybe. And when I was in my own therapy, they're like, well, check out this audiobook. It's called ADHD 2.0. And after I listened to it, I did not have a doubt in my mind that I have ADHD, like zero. And that started my journey into like first awareness and then really getting a hold of. And I'm still learning and I'm still growing.
Yeah.
And as soon as I was open about it, I started talking to other women and they're like, that's me. I just learned too. And l- so let me describe our studio, right? If we have an hour or 2 hours of a show, and at the time it was 2 hours, we have a lot of guests who come in. And many of them are women and very capable, career-driven women, right? They're in the field that they're supposed to be in. And time again, I would just openly say it. Naturally, I don't know why. I'd say, yeah, my ADHD brain. They're like, oh, I have it too. I was like, you were? And they're like, I suspect
Yeah.
it. And the more it happened day in, day out, I said, wait, I got to do something. This is not just my story. These are women in particular who have been able to, I don't want to say hide it, but maneuver and navigate around it and
Yeah.
cover
Yeah.
it to not really understand that's what I'm suffering from. And that's what I've been dealing with for decades. Said, let me put on a show. And I produced 2 hours of ADHD in women, how they can benefit. And it's not just like who, what, where, and why. I didn't want it to be a boring show. We're a visual medium, so I had people who would do diet, like make a recipe, someone who would do exercises like the bear hug that would help ground you and demonstrate it for you, like very visual interactive things. And even the what do you call it, the sensory toys that brought in Utah companies that had these sensory things that would help parents and kids and parenting in general, right? So that's another level of being a parent who's neurodivergent and then having a child and parenting and not the way your mom and dad taught us.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you do this or you're going to get spanked or stand in the corner, right? That no longer worked with my son.
Wow. Yeah, thank you for being so open about that. I think a lot of people can relate to that, especially later in life. It's kind of like explains so much. And you're like, oh.
Well, and I'm so proud of this show because I wrote it from beginning to end and I produced it, right, the way I wanted it. I even went international looking for he's called the piano guys and called the cello guy within the group. And he has ADHD and music also can come into play. And just using these tools to provide other people to either ask the question, that might be what I'm dealing with, or yes, there's finally something I can relate to, or here's a woman on TV and she has what I have. And this is what, and I
Yeah.
explained why certain notes don't work for me and I can't get it through my head or interpret it and process it. So, um, yeah, I think it was just one of those like, I can do it and so proud of it. And because I have a creative brain, it it was seamlessly beautiful. Like
Yeah.
neurodivergency and it's different in everyone, but for me, I can see big picture, but then you can microscopically see and narrow and
Yeah.
focus. But sometimes it's like in, out, zoom in, zoom out. But this project was so laser focused for me and beautifully done from the graphics to the music to every tease that I wrote to every menu, every tool. Like I saw that big picture and it was executed fabulously. So proud
Yeah.
moment.
Can we see it? Is it available for everyone, or
Oh,
is it one?
absolutely. I can share you the link, and then if you want to share it, I would be so honored.
Oh, put it in the put it in the notes. Well, Surae, guess what? You've survived our difficult questions. It's time for our lightning round. Are you ready?
Oh my gosh, this time went by so fast. But I will want to add, like, people who might have ADHD, like, the last takeaway is, like, there is hope, and I'm still learning, and just, like, rely on you because you do have the answers, and when you know more about yourself, you can thrive so well with ADHD. I just want to put that out there.
Love it. Love it. All right. Are you ready?
I don't know. Again, neurodivergency, but I'm gonna, okay. I'm
Well,
ready.
we actually call this, we used to call it the lightning round, but I now call it Yao, which is called your Asian opinion. So you can make long answers. We can do as long as you
I
want.
love that. Yeah. I feel so validated on this podcast. I just like, I have now, like, I love you, Curtis. You're in the family because we are family.
No, I'm pretty sure we're family. So I'm going to call you a cousin from another uncle or something.
Okay. That works.
All right. What is your favorite thing about Hawaii?
My favorite thing is the water. The water is life. And when I hear and see, it's all the senses, the smells, the beautiful sunset, like everything around water. And that's something, I'm surrounded by mountains now, and there are some ponds, but it's the water that I seek, like peace. Yeah.
Okay. But now, favorite thing about Salt Lake City?
Ooh. Okay, my favorite thing about Salt Lake City, I mean, can I say the mountains? My entire, I never lived here up until, until moving here, but we would always like fly in, fly out. Mountains are amazingly gorgeous.
Yeah.
That would be my second, but number one are the people. They are truly what makes Utah very unique and proud, and all the things, all the quirkiness combined. You love all of it. You end up loving all, like.
Yeah. No, I'm sure you get recognized, right? Because you're kind of a unicorn on the news. Like, do you get stopped everywhere you go? Yeah.
I mean, here and there, but you're right. I do stick out because I am pretty much the first Asian full-time host, right? In the 23-year history. So I am very proud of it, and I understand the weight of that as well.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, this is kind of a weird question then, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best place to get Asian food in Salt Lake City?
That's a good question. You know what has surprised me? I have surrounded myself with a group of Asians. It's so crazy. But I have more Asian friends here than in Virginia. Maybe not Hawaii. I can't say that. That's like, no. But my favorite cuisine is Thai. So it is, I'm still searching.
Okay.
I'm still searching, but there are some really great ramen places. Ramen bar, Jinya is really good. And Tuk Tuk is a Thai place. I could live on Thai food.
Yeah, I would think when it gets kind of cold around January, some good spicy Thai food would be really good.
Yeah. Oh, and pho. Pho. I need some pho.
Yeah. Okay. All right, now I'm going to make you choose. You can only choose one of these. Loco Moco or Spam Musubi?
Spam Musubi! Yes.
Okay, how about Shave Ice or Zippy's Pie?
Zippy's Pie. Wait. What is Zippy's Pie, though?
Well, there's different kinds. There's pumpkin pie during Thanksgiving. There's...
Cherry pie.
Yeah.
I Zippy's all day long, though.
Zippy's all day long.
I mean, Zippy's all day long. I need the chili. I need the mac. I need all of it. And if it's dessert, yes.
They have one in Vegas now. Did you know that?
I heard. I
gotta go. Yeah, it's a little bit closer.
Yeah, I mean, it's just 6 hours away, an hour flight.
Right.
But where do you get the Spam Musubi? I have to say it's at the 7-Eleven gas station.
Yeah. Or the
Foodland.
The ABC store.
Oh, the ABC store, yes.
Yeah. All right. Now, if you could only choose one vacation, beaches or mountains?
Oh, beaches.
Okay. Because
Beaches.
you get mountains every day.
Yeah. But beaches, like, forever. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And our final question is our signature question. We ask our guests who their infatuation is. An infatuation is anyone Asian that you admire. Could be living or deceased, someone you know, or someone you admire from afar. You could pick more than one.
I have to pick more than one.
No, you can pick more than one. Yeah. So, Surae Chinn, who's your infatuation?
My infatuation is Gemma Chan.
Uh-huh.
I love her. Is she not the most gorgeous?
She is, yeah. And she's a Chan.
She's a Chan, not a Chin, but she is
Close
Chun.
enough.
Close enough
Yeah,
with
right?
one N. And Jackie Chan. So bring all the Chans.
Okay.
Jackie Chan.
All the Chan family, all the relatives.
I need to meet him one day.
Yeah. Legend.
Legendary.
Yeah, total legend. Yeah.
I mean, Bruce Lee, of course, but who's living?
Mhm.
Gemma Chan, Jackie Chan.
Do you ever see the show called Humans with Gemma Chan?
No.
It's a BBC show. It's an English show. It is like basically where they make these superhuman like robots. And it's really hard to tell the difference between the human. And Gemma Chan is like this robot. But she has, and you're supposed to be able to wipe the memory, and you buy them. You purchase them. And so she's this robot, but she is kind of the part of this robot revolution where they're starting to remember their past life. It's creepy, but she is fantastic in that. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So if you're a Gemma Chan fan, go check that out. She's great in that one. I don't know where you see it. You might have to
Google.
get a little creative.
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
Google and what streaming it is. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, that's about it for our interview. Do you have anything coming up you want us to shout out?
Oh, let's see. I just day to day. I mean, I would love if anyone would just contact me and just like say hi. I always love a connection through Instagram and no, nothing else. I mean, I will say like I started, you always have to have a side hustle in the broadcasting industry. So I want to get your take. So I named it Chinfluence with 2 N's. And I work with a lot of influencers. So I'm in the space of like working with influencers and event planning. So I have that and I'm building the website now, but it's called Chinfluence. You like it?
I do. Actually, I saw your other hashtag too. You also have Chin It to Win It.
Chin it to win it. You got it. When you were, I don't know, when you were little, if you were made fun of, chin, all that. And sometimes what you think is your weakness is your superpower. And I say, let's just use it. Chin it to win it. Chinfluence. Let's just lean into that.
All the puns. Yeah. No, my personal Instagram is my Chinstagram.
Chinstagram. Love it.
And I actually joke about this. Now, this may not apply to you, but I joked that I should have named my kid Kit. Because then they'd be kitchen.
Oh my gosh. Your child would not like you for that.
I know.
Kitchen.
Total dad move. Yeah.
Yes. We have to meet, Curtis. We have to meet in person.
We will. Either I'll fly to Salt Lake City or you got to come out here. We got to do. I've never
both.
been, so I'll put it on the list. I'll come out one of these days.
I would love that. You need to come.
Yeah. Actually, if you come out here, I can introduce you to a whole bunch of other Chins because my dad had 7 brothers and sisters. So there's a bunch of Chins out here.
Wait, and my great grandpa had 12. Like, I think it's the 6 and 6.
Yeah. Okay.
We have to share stories because I do wonder if there has to be, like, we'll get off of the line here and we'll say, oh my gosh, that's my uncle.
I know. We'll find a connection for sure. Well, this has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh my gosh, it's my privilege, and I love the name Infatuasian. Curtis, you've got a good thing going on here.
Yeah, no, thank you for helping us out with the Chin for the Win month, and we'll keep an eye on Chinfluence and Chin It to Win It. Everyone out there, go check out Surae. What's your handle? It's
at Surae Chinn.
It's Surae Chinn. All
Easy
right.
enough.
Yeah. Easy enough. Everyone can remember that. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Everyone out there, we hope that you're doing great. And on behalf of Surae and myself, we hope that you're all happy, healthy, and safe out there. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye, everyone.